Throughout the spring evening of April 29th, 2018, we immersed ourselves within the pagan communities in the East Village to observe and record the cultural techniques and practices of pagan and metaphysical followings. We wanted to stay close to home to discover something that lies just beneath our nose, so we stayed within the region between 8th and 14th Street when conducting research and ultimately found an underground, yet culturally rich community longing for a sufficient voice in dominant religious discourse. First, we stopped at a metaphysical shop on 14th Street called Namaste, where we met Arusha, an employee who's been working for the store for 4 years. Our first question is just, when did you start working at Namaste?
Oh, I've been here for about 4 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to work here, or?
Well, I guess I was on a spiritual path, and crystals really called to me, so it was like a calling, and when I got the job, it was perfect, yeah.
Do you have like a specific religious affiliation yourself, or?
I would say that I just like spirituality in general, so a little bit of everything. Like I like aromatherapy, I like the crystals, I like to like learn about Buddhism, Hinduism, different gods, goddesses.
Do you use the crystals for anything like specific? Are there any?
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely bathe with my crystals. Rose quartz is one of my favorite crystals to bathe with. It's all about like self-love, nurturing yourself. And selenite is something I like to use before I go to sleep. Selenite is good for like spiritual activation, and it cleanses your aura. So if you've been like around people for a little while, it helps like just clean your auric field, so you don't feel like anyone else's energy is on your physical body.
Is there a specific type of customer that you usually see coming in here?
Oh no, I would say we have like the rainbow comes in here, like everybody through every spectrum, which is the most beautiful part about working here.
Are there any common things that customers look for when they come into your store that they're interested in or maybe curious about?
Yeah, definitely. I would say a big part is like when I started here, I would say like your spiritual journey. People ask for like, oh, what crystal can I use or what book can I read, to just get into a state of mind where you're kind of like unlearning the stuff you've been conditioned to learn, and then fixing that, and not fixing it, but resurfacing the right things, like things you believed in when you were like 4 or younger than that.
Do you think anybody has misconceptions about the things that you would sell in a store like this, or?
Yeah, but I just think that's part of their journey. Eventually, I feel like there'll come a period where, that may change for them. But there's definitely been parts where, like, when I was like 18, I would have not been into this at all. But I've totally changed since then. So I just have to give people the benefit of the doubt that there's going to be a point of time when they're going to learn something about themselves, or something's going to come into life where they may find this path again.
We also noticed that there's like multiple categories or different sections for beliefs. Would you say that there's like a popular one, or are they all pretty?
They're all pretty popular. I would say, as time has grown, like as we've been here, the bookshop, the crystals have been something that have become a lot more popular. And I would say people from all walks of life or all spiritual backgrounds enjoy the crystals or find like the magic of them.
Would you say that the spiritual community in New York City is different from other places in the country? Is there something that makes it special or unique?
I would say the fact that we're so surrounded by cement or granite or whatever, like we don't really have, we can't go surfing really, or there's not a lot of pools here, it's not too much greenery. There is, but it's not as abundant as it is in, say, California or even another part of the world. So yeah, I would say people are more drawn to it because there is a lack of. Yeah.
How do you guys find your mediums or like readers?
Oh, they just walk in usually. Leslie, who is here right now, has been with us since we opened. So she's like I would say like an OG at this, and she's one of my favorite readers. I go to her probably once a year after my birthday. So yeah, they just walk in, they ask, if we're hiring or if there's openings, and yeah, that's that easy.
While walking throughout the East Village to our next location, we found other places and stores throughout the neighborhood where pagan practices were also performed. From mainstream bookstores to quaint street-side rooms, we saw that the spiritual culture was alive and thriving. Next on our list of stops, we visited Enchantments, a shop for Wiccan followers in the East Village that specializes in occult-themed goods and spiritual accessories for ritual. Upon explaining the details of our project and our request for film and potential interview, they harshly refused. For example, the owner of the store described that what we were trying to do was against pagan tradition, and that they found our request invasive, exploitative, and frankly rude. We were initially discouraged and offended, but through the process, it allowed us to gain more insight about Wicca culture in general. The fourth location we visited throughout our exploration was Crystal's Garden, a small yet energy-rich shop on 10th Street. This store was very similar to Namaste. However, rather than a plethora of books and spiritual literature, Crystal's inventory was more focused on metaphysical tools, accompanied by elements of nature. We observed customers, shopkeepers, and the overall atmosphere of the store, while also obtaining an interview with one of the shopkeepers, Elijah Nagasi. What's your name?
My name is Elijah Nagasi.
Okay. Are you from New York City?
Yes, I was born and raised in the Bronx.
When and why did you start working at Crystal Gardens?
I started working in June and my friend brought me to here. I was learning a little bit about crystals, and then ever since I started working I started expanding. I'm still learning a lot, it's like spirituality is very deep, it's very expansive, so
Do you have a specific religious affiliation yourself?
No, I don't have any.
Do you have any interests?
I have a lot of close friends that are Muslim, so sometimes I go to the mosque, but I don't identify as Muslim. I have family that's Christian. I'm not any, yeah.
Do you have any regular practices that you would do, or any readings?
Yes, I do meditation. I also do Kung Fu. To me, Kung Fu is a martial arts, but I think that's also spiritual. I call it moving meditation. So I do Kung Fu, I do also yoga. So I do other similar practices, even mantra meditation I do. So yeah.
Is there a target audience for your store?
Everyone. It doesn't, from all ages. It could be from a baby to 105 years old. It doesn't matter.
Do you have East Village locals or regulars that come in to shop?
Yeah, mostly locals. I say mostly out of town people. Mm-hmm. But we have locals from East Village or from all around New York City.
Is there anything people commonly ask for or are looking for when they come into your store?
Yes, most people come to look and to feel. They have a question they want to learn, but I usually tell them if you just feel it, whatever calls to you, calls to you. But yeah, most people get the common crystals amethyst, rose quartz. Yeah.
We've been to some other metaphysical, spiritual shops around here, and they had some had readings, tarot readings, medium readings, or rituals of some kind. Do you perform any practices in your store?
I used to teach astrology readings, but my friend, he's not here. He does it, but outside the store. We don't have that much space to do it, but yeah. But personally, I don't do it. I don't do readings.
Would you say that there's any misconceptions that people would have about a store like this, or when they come in, or they're unfamiliar with the culture of this?
I guess someone would think, people who are not knowledgeable, they would think it's voodoo, witchcraft, or some demonic thing. But when they step in, they feel that it's actually a safe, healthy, and very energetic space. So, yeah.
Do you think that the spiritual community in New York is different from outside of the city, or the U.S. in general? The urban environment maybe changes it.
I think that's a good question. I think personally, since New York is very compacted, I think it's more easy to navigate and find the right people, like spiritual people to work out and to build yourself compared to other states in the U.S. But I think other states in the U.S. would be easier to more looking towards yourself, because I think in New York City is very distracted, like everything's fast-paced, so it's easy to fall off. But I don't know, it's a good balance, it could be either or. But personally, since I'm from New York, I'll say New York, yeah, so.
After our visit to Crystal's garden and a quick bite to eat, we ventured into Tompkins Square Park to observe a full moon ritual by the Wiccan Family Temple. The Wiccan Family Temple is an organization based in the East Village which regularly practices and teaches methods of witchcraft and Wicca, while also promoting the trade of knowledge, experience, and power. According to their organization's public statements, they claim to be a group which represents witches of all traditions, levels, and a group that enjoys coming together to celebrate, raise energy, and commune in like mind. Their organization was founded in July of 2007. More specifically, we observed the full seed moon ritual, one of the most important of the year due to the summation of the prime goddess or mother of Wiccan belief. The sole intention for the ritual was to further understand and interact with the influential powers of the full moon, all while also raising energy, casting personal spells, accessing rites of passage, and communicating dedication to the supernatural. The following clips are raw footage of the ritual itself on the evening of April 29th, 2018, from 7 to 9 p.m. Initially, the practice itself may seem foreign or empty to an observer outside of the Wiccan following. However, after gaining insight from and researching this community, we were able to provide video annotation to shed light on how complex and purposeful their ritual actually is. At the beginning of the celebration, members gather around a few candles and eliminate as much electrical light as possible in order to not distract from the natural moonlight. At the front of the group, Star Ravenhawk, the current reverend of the Wiccan Family Temple, serves to embody the moon goddess and lead the followers throughout the ritual. Next, members engage with music and dance with complete free form, meditating and giving thanks to the moon goddess. The circular order of the dance symbolizes the traditional pagan folk style, where members move faster to demonstrate their growing ecstaticism towards the moon goddess.
Shut the fuck up!
The ceremony then closes with members raising their arms above their head and curving their fingers slightly in order to link the moon goddess's divinity to their inner selves, becoming one with the moon goddess's powerful light.
Yeah, man, I should have brought No.
Yeah, it's not good either. We practice that. Well, Caribbean, Africa, West Africa.
Finally, the group concludes the ceremony with farewells and prayer. We were then able to chat with some of the followers, and in this clip you can see Star, the leader and reverend of the following, with another member of the temple. After speaking with Star herself, we were also able to get brief interviews and conversation with other followers of the temple. Though they were comfortable being filmed afar, they requested to remain entirely anonymous during personal close-up interviews, due to the anxiety of being exposed as a genuine follower of Wicca. One claimed that, "I'm weird about photos and video. Some of us don't want to come out of the broom closet yet," while another stated that there are dangers to outing yourself as a Wiccan. People are being torn limb from limb and killed for practicing Wicca, even in the East Village, claiming that people have misconceptions of pagan spirituality as demonic or satanic, when really they just hyper-focus on the dark and light energies of our universe.